Hello everyone, welcome to Sade's Tarot Tea. So today I will be doing a highly anticipated reading on Kehlani. I have practiced on doing readings on her a couple of times, and I must say she has beautiful energy about her. I went ahead and did a reading before her daughter was born on Adea, and I predicted that her daughter, I'm very proud of this because I was like a little unsure if her daughter, if what I was feeling from her daughter was legit. Because, like, when you predict a birth chart, a child's birth chart, it's kind of hard. So I said in my video of her and Adea, if you guys want to go ahead and look at that reading, it's in my playlist. But I said that her daughter was going to have a water placement. I kind of was going back and forth with her moon placement. It felt very intense, and I predicted that her daughter would have a water moon, or I said specifically a Scorpio moon. So turns out I was right, and from the jump I predicted her daughter would be a Pisces Aries cusp. So she's a Pisces Aries cusp, and I think that is her daughter having um a water moon is perfect for Kehlani because she has a water moon. So we'll go ahead and get into Kehlani's birth chart. I just wanted to do a disclaimer and say that this video, since it is highly anticipated, it will get kind of long. It's gonna get pretty long because I don't know how long, but it's gonna get long, guys. So buckle up. If you're a Kehlani fan and you rock with her pretty heavy, then you probably won't mind. But for those who are not really interested and want to skip around to her and YG, I will have that timestamp below. Yeah, guys. So, and maybe I'll do other timestamps too. We'll see. But definitely her and YG will be a timestamp if you guys want to just skip to that part, because I know most people follow some people just follow tarot channels for the drama, but I'm not a drama tarot channel, so guys, don't expect me to keep up with the latest news, okay? Because I post what I want to post. So, and I take requests too. So anyway, guys, let me be very honest. I I was kind of dreading doing this reading just because, not because of Kehlani. Let me make that very clear. I love her. Um, but her past has been something that has been very, like, it has like very dark energy attached to it. Not saying Kehlani is dark, but she's just gone through a lot, and she likes to keep a lot of her life private. She will be open and talk a little bit about stuff, but for the most part she's a very private person. So I was very hesitant to do this reading on her just because she trolls the internet, like heavily trolls the internet. And she believes heavily in psychics and spirituality, and she's highly spiritual. So I always got this energy from her, like intuitively, like to not post her readings, just because I've done practice readings on her and they've gotten very deep, and I just worry that she'll see my reading and get upset. So I'm hoping, Kay, if you see this video, please forgive me. People really want to know, they want to know about you. So I don't know if she'll see this reading, guys, but I just want to put a disclaimer and to respect Kehlani. And if she gets upset about this reading, I will take it down, because I feel heavily, guys, I'm not even playing with you, I feel like she trolls the internet very heavy. We all know that. If you're Kehlani's fan, you know this. But if she asks me to take this reading down, I will go ahead and take it down. She may not even see this reading. I hope not. But if she does, like when I posted Demi's reading, if she tells me to take it down, I will, okay? Just so you know, I will take it down, okay? Because I love you. And I have actually met Kehlani. So I have a I have high respects for her. So as you can see, guys, I'm really nervous to be doing this reading on her because she trolls the internet. So that's going to make this reading even more interesting, right? So guys, without further ado, I'm sorry for that long rant. I just wanted to say that because I feel from Kay's energy that she trolls the internet, like, heavily. And if she comes across this video and she gets upset, I might have to take it down. So hopefully she won't. So we'll see. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and read on Kehlani's birth chart. So I will go ahead and post her chart below, and hey, she might end up liking this reading, so hopefully she does if she sees it. So anyway, Kehlani, as you guys know, because she talks about it all the time, she is a Taurus sun with her moon in Pisces, her Mercury in Taurus, her Venus in Aries, her Mars is in Leo, and she is a Cancer rising. It doesn't say that on Cafe Astrology or Astro Charts, excuse me, Astro Charts. It doesn't say that she's a Cancer rising, but I know she's a Cancer rising because she talks about it a lot. And so let me first start off by talking about her birth chart and the energy I feel from her birth chart, and I just go off of the energy. I don't really look too much heavily on the placements, just because that's so generalized, you know. So what I feel instantly from Kehlani looking at her sun in Taurus is she's someone that loves security. She loves to feel grounded in wherever she is. She really makes it a point for others to that are around her to feel grounded too. She wants to um evoke that same type of stability in other people, and I love that about her energy. I instantly that comes through for her, and her energy is telling me I want you to feel stable the way I feel stable. And also, kind of like what I was saying about Melanie Martinez, it's a Taurus thing I feel is that they like to feel grounded and they like to be very meticulous with how they do things. And I feel like Kehlani doesn't like to make certain moves until she feels like it's the right move. And that's very earth energy. um, but she doesn't like making certain moves unless she knows that it's going to pay off or she knows that it's going to benefit her future or benefit her in some type of way. So really love that about her energy coming through from just her sun sign in Taurus. And she's super, let me say this, like people think that they know Kehlani, but they really don't. You know, there's so much to her that she hides from people, you know, even though she is open, which we all love about her. As you know, if you're her fan and you rock with her, like I said in the beginning, you know she's been pretty open in the past, which has gotten her, she's learned through her energy. I'm feeling too, and I've seen her say this in interviews, but I'm also feeling that come through for her now, even in this current state that she's in. She's learning to not be so open with people because people will take that and run with it and they'll just take advantage, or they'll just make assumptions, or they'll just twist her words. And she does have her Mercury in Taurus, so Earth Mercuries hate their words getting twisted. I mean, anyone does. Doesn't matter what placement your Mercury falls in, what zodiac sign, excuse me, your Mercury falls in. But with her, I feel instantly that's a big thing for her. She doesn't like being misunderstood through her words, like, because she really takes the time to think about what she says before she says it, you know. So even if it's she has good intent, sometimes people tend to take what she says out of context, and that's kind of gotten her in trouble. So yeah, if she's a Cancer rising, then I'm thinking her let me look because I'm curious. Okay guys, actually, you know what, she is a Cancer rising, but I stand corrected. Her third house, unless there's some type of interception in her chart, which is when the zodiac signs are when they double in your houses. That's the best way I can describe it without taking up too much time. But if she has no interceptions, her third house would fall in Virgo. So that really is something that she cannot stand, even though it's not in fire, you know. It's still in earth. So it's like Virgo is all about communication, and then she has her Taurus and her Mercury placement. So she's all about communicating. She's all about making sure that communication is, you know, is being understood the first time. She's also someone I feel from her chart right away with that Cancer and her Pisces moon. She's very spiritual. She's very like I always say about water energies, she's very sensitive to other people's energies and vibes around her. I always say that with water energy. But you know, Kehlani has had to learn to protect her energy, which is why she's such a big advocate for telling people to have boundaries, because for so long she had to learn this, especially when she was young. I feel like too, Kay would have a lot of like psychic attacks happen to her. People, you know, didn't, especially her mother, like, which is a sensitive topic for her. So I won't dive too much into that. But, you know, for the longest time, I feel like when she was young, she would have very psychic attacks, especially when she was sleeping, maybe, because she does have a water moon. So I feel usually from water moons like Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, they'll have psychic dreams. Like I feel like she has even to this day a lot of premonitions, will happen to her. She doesn't remember her dreams a lot of times unless it's predicting something. I feel like too, she always knew that she wanted to be a singer. Like I said, I am a fan, but some things she has kept very private. So, this is what I'm picking up on. This is what I'm feeling. Okay, guys. So, Moon in Pisces, very sensitive, but she does like to act hard because of her Leo and her Aries and Leo, and she has her Venus in Aries. So, a lot of times she likes to move quick without thinking. She'll do things without thinking, but then, especially when it comes to her emotions, she doesn't like to stay in her emotions, but she can get super moody with certain things just because a lot of people are usually around her and it will affect her mood. So even times she'll not saying that she does it intentionally, but she'll like, I just see her like secluding herself, or she does have people in her house, but I do see her wanting to seclude herself a lot of times to refocus and regenerate herself. She probably does this a lot when she meditates, or when she prays, or when she reads. I see her reading maybe self-help books. I do know this about her. She does read self-help books. But I do feel like she's, especially in her current energy, she has made it a point to really become spiritual, which is no shock to me, her being a moon in Pisces, because Pisces energy are usually very spiritual. And I feel like too, she needs equally spiritual people around her, or people that think the same way. So, okay, if you don't have spiritual people around you, this will affect you very heavily. I feel it could affect you. I also feel like with her moon in Pisces, she creates illusions around people. Normally she'll attract people around her that need fixing, that have a dark past. Not quite like Scorpio moons, but she will attract people that usually will create illusions around themselves so that so she can't see who they are. So she has Neptune right in smack dab in the middle of her chart. So she's had to learn this the hard way, to stop creating hazes around people. So she's dated, I feel from her energy, she's dated very dark energy that at first they seemed like they were pretty cool, they seemed like they were the shit, but quickly she started seeing from other people like telling her, hey, Kehlani, that person ain't good for you, like, you should see this, like, look at that red flag, and she sees the red flags, I feel, but she when she was younger, and now she's not doing it so much, I'm feeling, but she had to really learn to stop giving people so many chances. Believe She had to really believe these people, for now she does, but she didn't want to believe their true colors. She didn't want to believe that they were this person. So I feel like that's been a major issue for her, when it comes to just people. I also feel like she sees her dad in her dreams a lot. I feel like she's channeled part of her Pisces moon to see her dad. I feel like she really, of course, misses her dad, of course, but I feel like she has really gone on like some type of spiritual awakening or spiritual journey to see her dad, to speak to her dad. If she has not yet, I do feel that heavily for her, that she will learn to tap into her psychic intuitiveness to be able to actually like talk to her father, which is really cool. And if she hasn't already, I feel like she will get stronger with her psychic intuitiveness. I feel like too, she's learning how to, like Janae, she's learning how to do tarot cards, or she's learned how to do tarot cards. So that's really cool. I also feel like when she was younger, she questioned God a lot. I feel like she questioned if God truly exists. And she, even when she was younger, but she got scared, went on this, like psychic journey from when she was young to even now. It's kind of like led her into accepting more of her psychic intuitiveness and her spirituality, because I feel like she was told to shun it, or she shunned it herself through not being able to have a safe place to explore it. So now she's really in her energy now. I feel she's created this safe space in her house or wherever she lives, She really makes it a point to create a safe place. I see her in a room, and not just her room, but like some other room where she goes and meditates, or maybe she just does this around the house. But I see like her really like saging and really tapping into her spirituality and really embracing her spirituality. And I'm staying on that moon in Pisces because I feel like that's the energy she's most proud of, and she channels a lot. Not only her Taurus, but her moon in Pisces. I feel like she's so proud of that placement, and I wish I was a water moon. Moon in Pisces is one of my favorite moon placements. It's just so chill. Like her energy is very chill, which I already knew from her. I've met her and she's very sweet, but she was very guarded, which of course, like that's a Taurus, like they're super guarded. um and I feel like too, when I met her, I picked up instantly that she gets overwhelmed very easily, especially if you have strong energy. Like she gets like it's like this whiff of like a strong cologne or strong scent. Like I picked that up from her, especially I'm tapping back into when I met her. I pick up that she got very overwhelmed with me because my energy was like, I was like, hi Kay, like hi Kehlani, and she's just like, whoa, like okay, like like she doesn't take well to people. That she's cool. I'm not saying she was a bitch. She was very sweet, very humble, very humble. Um, but I picked up right away that I overwhelmed her. I was just like, oh, oops. Like I kind of made her uncomfortable just because I usually do this with people, but my energy's strong, so I think that like knocked her off. Like she was just like, "Whoa." Like I did not expect that. I also feel from her Venus and Aries that she's very sexual. She loves sex. She's very good at sex. Venus and Arians are usually very dominant. They like to be very dominant in the bedroom. Um, especially with her Mars and Leo, I feel like she's fun. Like she's super fun. I'm like, I'm exposing her, but I feel like she's super fun. But I do feel this energy of she gets bored easily in like relationships. Like if the relationship with her Venus and her Leo, Venus and Aries, Mars and Leo placement, if they're in the moon in her moon in Pisces placement and her Cancer, I feel like she I feel like she battles with her fire and her water placements a lot. I feel like her water placements are just like, and her Taurus is like, no, want something stable, want something emotional and emotional depth with her Pisces moon. But then it's like her Pisces moon kind of like acts up and she's like, no, like, I want to have fun. I want to be free. Because Pisces, even though it's water, it's still free. It's not like Cancer or Scorpio. It's like Pisces is free. It's like it's a wanderer. So I feel like she can't be held down, especially with her Aries and her Leo. Um, but I do feel like there's that energy of her wanting to attract domineering partners. But, she's so domineering that she tends to butt heads with domineering people. Um, so it doesn't, she likes that at first and she thinks it's exciting and it's a challenge because of her Aries and her Leo. But then it gets too much because they want to control her and she's just like, fuck you, you're not gonna control me, hell the fuck no. I also feel like she's always gaining inspiration. She's always being very creative with her Leo and her Pisces and her Taurus, I feel like she's always constantly being having ideas like pop up in her mind, and she needs a record label. If this one is, I feel like there's something I've always felt like, she's not with the right team, but I feel like she needs more of a supportive creative team because I feel like she constantly has these like big ideas, kind of like Billie Eilish. But unlike Billie, like her record label allows her to do stuff like that's fun and free and dark. But Kehlani doesn't want to go dark, but I'm saying like more expansive. I feel that energy from her. And she has Jupiter in Sagittarius, so that makes sense. Okay, you always need to be expanding, especially with your life. You need to be higher, like you're doing, like spiritual. This is so her, like moon in Pisces, Sagittarius, Jupiter, like wanting to always expand, wanting to always grow and learn and high, like always learn. Like that is what I hear from her chart. So, and she has Saturn in Pisces. Ooh, that's a tough placement. Yeah, Saturn in Pisces and her North Node in Scorpio. But her Pisces Saturn, she's constantly having to learn lessons and relearn lessons because she won't like see the red flags like from the jump. Like, so the universe is just like, okay, like you didn't learn your lesson, Kehlani, like we're gonna teach you again and again and again and again and again and again. So that's why, like, I've noticed with her energy, she attracts a lot of broken people that she has to continuously relearn and learn again from. Um, which, if you look at her past or you know about her past, it makes sense. So I don't know if she's aware of that. Well, I'm sure she is because she's super into her chart. So I'm pretty sure, and she has an astrologer she goes to. So I'm pretty sure she knows about this. Okay, guys, so I've broken down Kehlani's chart. I hope that was very in depth for you guys. Her energy to me from her chart and overall basis of what I'm getting from her chart is she's super creative. She explores whatever option. She's super open to anything and everything. She's definitely someone who's experienced a lot in life. And I do feel like from that Saturn in Pisces, especially her being young, she's had to experience very big spiritual awakenings, very transformative energies that it's not, like I said, it's not Scorpio, but I do feel her North Node in Scorpio, which is pulling me towards her past, you know, so which opens it up to her past and what she's learned from her past. So let's do an overall pull from her past, what she had to learn. I feel like growing up, money was very much an issue for Kehlani. I feel like her family didn't have a lot of money. I do feel energy from the father that he was a little bit more successful than the mother. I know that her mom dealt with some, you know, some harsh things in her past, and she's very, Kehlani's very protective over her mother. So, like I said, I don't. Her mother is a very sensitive topic for her. Not only do I know that being her fan, but I feel that instantly from her energy. I do feel from Kehlani's her moon in Pisces, which is, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Kay felt me tapping her. But I do feel from Kehlani's energy that the mother talking about her mom is very much off limits. So, like I said, guys, I'm going to respect Kehlani's energy, and that is giving me a block. So that's a hard no. So I'm not going to go ahead and read on her mom. Um, but her and her mother, I will say they are working on their relationship. But her mom's energy to me is very independent, but does things kind of recklessly, and goes about things the wrong way. So I'm wondering what, I think her mom is a Capricorn, if I'm not mistaken. Her mom is a Capricorn. But I don't know her mother's chart. The sun placement doesn't tell a lot, you know, it's just our ego. So that doesn't surprise me though that her mother struggles with addiction. Not saying anything to Kehlani's mother, but the fact that she's a Capricorn struggling with addiction, that doesn't surprise me because, you know, not only do Pisces struggle with addiction, but, you know, which Kehlani has had to deal with, you know, exploring recreational stuff. She's explored with that just because that's Pisces. Like, they're so open to everything and anything that they feel will have them have an experience. You know, Pisces are all about experiences, you know, which creating memories. It's a very nostalgic sign. You know, water signs are very nostalgic. You know, they like to create memories. They like to create things that are sentimental value. You know, so whereas earth signs are more, I'm gonna create memories with what I buy. Sense like things like giving gifts to people. Like, I want to give you something. This means, because this put a smile on your face, this means everything to me. You know, that's a memory for earth signs. So yeah, that's what I'm picking up from her mother. Her mother is very strong. I feel this very strong energy, just goes about things the wrong way, kind of does things very recklessly. And Kay, unfortunately, has suffered a lot from that, especially losing her dad so young. Um, it's, but ironically enough, you know, it's, I feel like Kehlani was destined to have everything that happened to her, where this goes for all of us, but I really feel for Kehlani that everything that's happened to her has propelled her into this energy of, you know, gaining more from the universe. The universe has really rewarded Kehlani in so many ways, and she knows this. Like, she always talks about this, but it's coming out with my cards with the Ace of Coins and the Strength card. This has actually made Kehlani a lot more stronger, and almost, I want to say, feeling invincible because she's gone through so much, guys. She's gone through so much. I feel like she's lived many past lives too. I feel like she has lived so many past lives. I feel like even in a past life she was a Leo. So that's interesting. Leo rising or Leo, but I know she has her Mars in Leo, so that's coming out in her Mars placement. Her Mars placement is coming through like very strongly. The strength card is Leo in tarot, so she has her Mars in Leo. So that makes sense that that came out for her. So the Sun card came out in the reverse. I feel like the Sun card doesn't always, in the reverse, it's not always bad, but I do feel like Kehlani has had to learn to turn her darkness into optimism, and for that she is so much stronger. Like I said, I'm getting very strong Leo energy. That Leo Mars, guys, has helped her. If you have Mars and Leo, I feel like this is a very strong placement because Leos are very headstrong. You know, there are some Leos that are lazy, given the exception, but most Leos I've met are pretty strong wherever Leo falls in your chart. They're very confident, and that's why, Kehlani is so confident with whatever she does, because one, she thinks before she does everything. She plans out everything with that Taurus, and she sees it before she does it. I feel like she has visions. Oh, I see this, and she's able to, because her visions are so strong and her Cancer rising, it's so strong, she's able to convey that message so strong, especially why she has so much creative control, why she's wanted to have so much creative control, because her visions and her vision is so strong. I do feel like when Kehlani gets upset, she's a little dramatic. Like, she's just a little, like, she likes to be like, yo, like, listen to me, like, we're gonna talk about this. I feel like she likes to be like the center of attention when she goes on her rants or when she talks about things. Like, she likes to have your attention, like your full attention. Oh god, that's so Aries and Leo. Love it. So, like I said, guys, I was gonna touch on some people that have really, well, that I know of, that have affected her love life. So I'm really curious I'm really curious about Party Next Door. I know, again, this is a sensitive topic for her. So again, if she does not want me to talk about this, it will not be able to come out in the cards. Or if she sees this and tells me to take it down, I will do that. So let's see. Okay, guys, so I have pulled up Party Next Door's chart. I don't know how to say his name, so I'm not gonna try. If y'all know how to say it, go ahead and put it in the comments below. But if you didn't know, Party Next Door is a rapper or singer/singer. Yeah, I don't really know much about him, so this will be completely like candid about him. So anyway, I think his name is Jaron. Is that how you say it? Jaron or Jaron, something like that. I don't really care because I don't like him, but that's neither here nor there. So anyway, so his sun is in Cancer, his moon is in Capricorn, his Mercury is in Cancer, his Venus is in Taurus, his Mars is in Virgo. So one big thing that I feel about Party Next Door is that he's very sweet until he doesn't get his way. I feel like he and Kehlani had a very hard relationship because it was such a power struggle, because I feel like, Party Next Door wanted to control her a lot of times. And like I said, as Kehlani ages, she used to be kind of submissive to him. But then once she started coming into her more Mars and Leo energy and her Venus and Aries and realizing her worth, because like I said, Kehlani had to be her own parent. She was never taught, the things that we should be taught when we're young. She didn't have guidance, so she's done pretty well for herself for someone that didn't have guidance, a lot of guidance. But I feel like Kehlani, though, even though she didn't have traditional parents in this sense, I feel like she's had a lot of spiritual like people around her. I know Nick Cannon plays a very big role played a very big role in her life. He still does. But I pick up on a grandmother that is very spiritual around Kehlani. I pick up on a couple of people that have been very spiritual around her. I feel like she's highly protected in the spiritual world. Yeah, so she's had protecting. It's not like, oh, she's just out here wilding. Even when Kehlani has been doing her own thing and, maybe she's ashamed of certain things in her past, but she has been always led back onto the right track, and as soon as she starts to fall, usually Kay is so protected spiritually that, you know, she'll have guidance come right back, like full circle to her. It doesn't take long for them to steer Kehlani back on track, which is, or in the past. So now she's doing a lot. She's doing a lot better, but when she was young, I'm feeling it was hard, because she had so many negative people around her and people that were easily able to manipulate her. Um, and not saying anything to Kay. We've all been there, you know what I mean? She's had to definitely learn the hard way, which, I relate. So I relate to her. So not, knocking her for that. Okay, every time I feel Party Next Door's energy, it feels very dark. It feels very tainted. I feel like he had a very complicated relationship with his parents, which is something I feel like Kay and him bonded over. I feel like there was a lot of things that they bonded over, and they found toxic security in one another, because I do feel from his energy that he has very toxic habits. I do pick up on addiction from him. So even till this day, I feel like he's tried to fix himself, he's tried to evolve, but he gets stuck in this very toxic pattern. And, which is good that Kay has broken away from him, because I don't even feel that she even associates with him anymore. She's in a much better energy now, but when she was with him, it was very dark, and he actually brought her down like a lot, I feel. Um, I pulled the Queen of Swords flew out as I was mentioning Party Next Door and I feel like this is Kehlani. I also feel like this is Party Next Door's mom. As I said, like, I feel like he had a very complicated relationship with his mother. His mother could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or she could have her moon in Aquarius, or her moon in Libra or Gemini. She could also be a Capricorn, I'm feeling, or some earth energy. He's very attracted to earth women, earth sign women, earth sign women. I do feel like Party Next Door silenced Kay's voice a lot. Like, I feel like he made her feel super small. He made her feel like she didn't have power, which is something that Kay found within herself, which is beautiful, because she has a lot of power. She has such strong energy. It's fiery, strong, and it's intuitive, and it's peaceful. It's nice. And it's even better since she had her daughter Adea. It's a lot better than how I used to feel her energy. Um, Four of Wands. I do feel like they will have some sort of reunion. I know Kay is not open to this right now, but I do feel like there's some closure that Kehlani needs to, like, the universe is telling me that she needs to have with him. She could have already had this closure with him, because I'm getting the Four of Wands. I think at one point too, I'm hearing that Party saw himself like marrying her. He saw himself wifing her up, because Kay is wife. She is wifey material. She is. Even though she's got like a air, what am I trying to say? Even though she's got like a fire Venus, like, fire Venuses are hard to like lock down. Um, but she still has very grounding energy, which is, I do want a stable life, because, especially for her daughter, and more kids. She wants more kids. She wants to be married. She wants to be wifed up. So that is something I do feel. And he promised her that. He promised her a lot of stuff. I do feel like too there is something going on with Party's his money, his recording, his record label. Like I said, I don't keep up with him, so let me know if there's any Party Next Door fans, if this is relevant. But I do feel like there's some money going on for him. I do feel like karma has caught up with him. I do feel like too he kind of drained Kehlani of money. Like, she would help him a lot financially. Because she, at that time when they were seeing each other, her money was starting to take off, I do feel. I do pick up on too he gets a lot of confidence with his moon in Capricorn and his Mars in Virgo and Venus in Taurus. He has a lot of earth energy. I do feel like a lot of his confidence comes from the type of money he makes, how much money he makes. Yeah, I feel like he treated Kehlani so bad that he's getting like karma served back at him through his money. So that's interesting that I heard that. Yeah, Seven of Swords. I feel like he lied to her a lot. Like, I already had said that. He promised, I said it by saying he promised her a lot of things but didn't come through, or he was very sneaky. He would cheat on her a lot, I feel. Which is, he's such an ass. Like, he likes to flaunt women in her face too. Like, he would like to flaunt women in her face. He's like, oh, look at all these girls I can get. Like, he would be petty. I saw him kind of do this too. I was just like, ew, like, ugh. But he did that a lot. Like, not just what I saw, but I feel he would do that a lot, and he still kind of does that, just with anybody he dates, honestly. So I don't feel like they're in contact at all, actually. I don't even need to pull my cards for that. But I do feel like in the future there will be some type of reunion for them. Just so she can gain closure, because the universe is saying there's stuff that he hurt her so bad that there's just stuff that she needs to patch back up so she can be fully at peace. So, okay, if you come across this video, I'm hearing the universe say, and maybe you know this too, but there is some type of closure you need to gain from him. So I know you're just probably like, hell no, no. But maybe in the future you will be open to it, not letting him back in your life, because I do feel like he's still toxic. But definitely gaining some closure as to why he did certain things. Because I hear that she kind of still blames herself, or she doesn't always feel good enough, you know? So she has this very strong, confident energy with her Leo and her Aries. But that Pisces and that Cancer makes her doubt herself a lot. And the Taurus is strong too. But she doubts herself a lot because of him. It sucks. Ugh, he's such an ass. The Tower just came out. I feel like Kehlani is going to go through a really big change. Really big change. There's going to be people that she's going to have to let go of. There's going to be people that she's going to have to drop. So I feel like there's like two people around her that are not good. There are snakes in the grass. I think I said this in her past reading that I've done for her every time I would pull on her for practice. There was always someone that came out that was shady around her. So, okay, you're in this energy now of cutting people off. So if you ever come across this video, if you haven't done it already, you need to cut two people off in your life. They're very shady. I feel like they could potentially steal money from you. So I don't know if this is a record label. I don't know if this is the Tower card that's coming out. I don't know if this is a record label or some friends around her, but I'm feeling like there's two shady people, possibly three. But I'm picking up on two. I keep hearing two. There's two shady people that are around you. And I'm also hearing, Kay, we're getting in a little bit into your career. I'm hearing don't be afraid to cut people off, one, and don't be afraid to branch out musically. I feel that you've been wanting to play more with music, like different types of music. And change up your sound like completely like different, and you want to revamp yourself. And you have big ideas, because the Tower is a big energy, you know, but you have these big ideas, but you're afraid of like I said, she's a Taurus, so they don't do things. They're very, it's very hard for Tauruses to take risks, but your Sag Jupiter calls for that, you know, and your Leo and your Aries call for that. You have to be making big changes, especially with your moon in Pisces. Like, that is where you get emotional fulfillment, is by being creative. You know, I didn't say this for the moon placement when I was talking about her moon in Pisces, but that is where you get emotional fulfillment, is by your creative voice being heard, your emotional state being able to write freely through your writing, through your music. You know, that's how you feel most content. And through your spirituality too, when you meditate and yoga. I feel like yoga helps her a lot too if she does yoga. I feel like, or it would. Seven of Swords is coming back out in the reverse, as I said that. I also feel like moving more into her energy, where I keep being pointed to when I asked about like the suicide thing. I feel like that was very much blown out of proportion. I do feel like, you know, PartyNextDoor played a role into that, because he just blew everything up, and Kay does not handle chaos well. That is one thing she cannot take, is chaos, you know. So I'm seeing that was actually blown out of proportion. I am feeling like there was some energy around not wanting to deal with her life anymore. And I do feel this energy of wanting to give up, you know, definitely wanting to give up. So this is a very sensitive topic for her. So I am feeling this energy at that time around being in a very dark place. But the media did blow it out of proportion a lot. That's what I'll say. This is a very sensitive topic for her. So yeah, kind of jumping around here, guys. Sorry. So I also want to look at her relationship with Shana. Again, everyone loved this relationship. They loved them together. So I kind of want to see what happened with that. So immediately, guys, what I feel without even pulling my cards is actually her and Shana are they're actually on good terms. I feel this content energy around that. I feel like they've spoken a lot, and I feel like too Shana has matured a lot since they've been together, and I feel like Kehlani has matured a lot too since she's been with Shana. I don't feel any negative energy around them. I do even feel that they are still very much sexually attracted to each other. Yeah, I feel like that was no disappointment in that department because Shana, you know, she's a Sagittarius and they like to have fun. Yeah, so as I talked about that, the Four of Swords, but I do feel like they don't talk as much as they used to, but I don't feel any bad energy with the Four of Swords. I don't feel any bad energy. I do get this energy of kind of like looking back on things and wishing things were better, or like that they were more in each other's lives than they are now. The Tower card is in the reverse. I do feel like they just I do feel like with the Tower in the reverse, they've come out of this big energy of just a lot of explosive arguments. I feel like when they would fight, it would get really bad. I do see Shana like leaving and just Kay getting very upset about it. And I call her Kay, guys, because that's like my nickname for her. So, but again, like I said, this does not taint my reading of her just because I love her. As I said that the Ten of Coins came out, yes, not content at all with the relationship, not content with the way things were going. I feel like, too, Kehlani saw a lot of things in Shana that she excused with her Seven of Cups energy coming out. Well, excuse me, with the Seven of Cups energy coming out. For me, the Seven of Cups represents Pisces energy. It can be an illusion card or things not being what they seem. Kehlani's moon in Pisces, I feel like with Shana and her, I feel like she would make excuses for, you know, a lot of the things that Shana would do. And some things, I'm not saying that Shana was the only one that was hurtful, you know, but I definitely feel like, Kay wanted more stability from her. And Shana wasn't willing to give that to her. I think that Kay being as big as she is was too much for Shana because I feel like Shana's private. And I'm not saying Kehlani isn't, but I mean, like, there's a lot of pressure to date a singer, to date an artist, especially one that is growing as rapidly as Kehlani is growing and as she was growing when her and Shana dated. I felt like that made their relationship very complicated, and Shana didn't like a lot of people in their business, but Kehlani was like, well, this is what comes with me. So it's like, you either rock with it or you don't, you know, and that's kind of what started a lot of the arguments, I'm feeling. And also I feel like Shana had a hard time, you know, Kay may have struggled with this too, but I feel like Shana had a really hard time letting her guard down, you know, in a lot of ways. And I do feel like commitment was a big thing. Like, it was hard for her to commit, with one, how hectic Kehlani's life is, and then, which is not her fault, and then two, you know, Shana's the Sagittarius. Sagittarius is, they're kind of hard to lock down, you know, so just saying. So guys, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. That's what I pick up from her and Shana. So I know a lot of psychic readers are pulling on Kehlani and YG's relationship. I could feel it. Gosh, so hopefully mine kind of adds up to what they're saying. But if it doesn't, I don't care. That's just what I'm feeling. This is what I'm feeling. So let's go ahead and start with YG's chart. He is a Pisces sun with his moon in Virgo, his Mercury in Pisces, his Venus in Aquarius, and his Mars in Capricorn. So what I feel from YG is that it's very hard to like lock YG down with his Venus in Aquarius. But I feel like Kehlani just caught his attention right away. I feel like he's always been interested in her in some ways, because I feel like this was something that grew over time. I feel like they've always known each other. And I said this in my practice video about them, but I feel like, you know, I get this very mature energy from Kehlani and YG. but at the same time I feel like they're not taking it too seriously. Like it's nothing serious. It's actually like they're both having fun. They're both like, let's just have fun. But I do feel like YG wants to, with his Mars and Capricorn, I do feel like he wants to like lock Kehlani down, and Kay is just kind of like, well, we'll see. We'll see where it goes, you know, just because she's heard some things about YG. And I feel from his energy, I'm not going to talk shit, but I do feel like he kind of likes to have his women. You know, it's hard to lock him down because he's a Venus in Aquarius. But if he feels like you're the right woman, he will be loyal. He will be loyal. I do feel that for him. Especially he has that Virgo moon and that Mars in Capricorn, which I feel like really grounds him. I don't know what his rising is. They don't have that, but that's okay. So I feel I feel like with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, I feel like Kehlani is like holding out on him, which is interesting because I thought that they had had sex already, but I'm actually feeling like she's holding out on him. If they have hooked up, it's they've hooked up, you know, like they've had, and this could just be like she's holding out on him is as far as like relationship goes. But I feel like Kehlani will give you like a little taste. She'll be like, okay, like let's get a little taste of this, you know, and then she pulls back. And then that, I feel like that's driving him insane. He's just like, yo, like, you know, give me the whole enchilada, give me the whole entree. And she's just like, no, here's an appetizer. That's what Kay is saying to me through her energy, through YG's energy. I'm tapping YG. He's like, I am wanting the whole entree. Good for you, Kehlani. Yes. Yes, girl. I feel like what caught YG about Kehlani is her confidence. Because she's very confident. Like, super confident. Like I said, from her past, she wasn't always, but she, who is, you know? She had to learn. But through this confidence, she's just like, no, like, I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table. Are you on board? If you're not, goodbye. You know, that's what I feel from her energy, which is different than what I was feeling at first when I did the reading on them, because I did a practice video on them. So I'm redoing it. This is the real deal. Kehlani is coming out with her card as the Queen of Coins. Wow, beautiful energy. She is holding back from him. She's just like, I know my worth. I have, you know, look at this coin. This woman is holding this coin. Like, and like the way she's standing, like, I know my value and you better see it too. And if you don't see that, then that is your loss, dude. I feel like Kehlani has had talks with him. Like, yo, like, I've heard things about you, or I'm feeling things about you, because Kehlani doesn't really need people to tell her. She'll feel it, like, instantly. She'll feel it. She'll know you're full of shit. She'll feel it. You know, if she does excuse people in her camp, it's because she cares about them. But she ain't stupid. Like, she sees and feels things right away. She can't even help it because of her Cancer rising and her moon in Pisces. Like, she can't help it. So I feel like she called YG out right away. She's like, listen, like, fuck what people said. Like, this is what I feel from you. You know, because I do feel like people in Kay's camp were warning her. You know, I feel like they do warn her about the dude she dates. I feel like she has people that support the relationship, but I also feel like she had people in her ear like, hey, he's immature. Like, he does this, he does that, he moves like this, he moves like that. She's like, that's fine, because that's what I feel from Kehlani is, I want to see for myself. I want to see, yes, okay, I'll listen, but she's a Taurus, guys. Like, Taurus, once they make up their mind, they're just like, skirt, like, shut up, like, shut up. Don't talk to me. Get your bread up. I'm quoting YG. You know, so I definitely feel like, you know, she was like, I know, but let me see. Let me see for myself, because I feel like YG shows Kehlani a side of him that not a lot of people get to see. I feel like he's already like opened up to her in ways. I feel like they've had very deep conversations. I feel like their communication is like on point, especially with him having his sun in Pisces and his Mercury in Pisces and his Venus and his Mars in Capricorn. I feel like they've had deep discussions. I feel like their relationship is not official. I'm not feeling like with the Ace of Wands, I'm not feeling like it's official. I do feel like they're having fun, but I do feel like, even if this doesn't work out, I do feel like they'll be cool. Unless, of course, something happens. But I do feel like they will always be cool, or they've always been cool. So I feel like they're gonna have fun. I just feel like this is fun, guys. I don't feel like this is something serious. It could turn into something serious. There's definitely potential for that to happen. I feel like YG is gonna teach Kehlani a lot, especially with not only her work ethic, because she has great work ethic, which is what which is what he loves about her, and vice versa. Kehlani loves that about YG, but I feel YG is gonna open Kehlani up more spiritually. I do feel that from him. I do feel him being very spiritual. I feel like his mother is very spiritual. I feel like he loves his mom and gets along very well with his mother. So guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do feel like, or he's trying to build a relationship with his mom, but I feel like it's good. He's very protective. I also feel as though, YG is going to help Kehlani career-wise. Like, he's going to help her, like, focus her career more, or learn to take certain opportunities, because Kehlani, like, she's very meticulous with certain things, but she also, YG is very driven, and he's very hardworking, but there's something about his energy where he's very smart about his money. And Kehlani has to, like, I feel like, guys, she's gonna learn through him. She's gonna learn to be more financially stable, which is good. Like, she's already good with her money, like, wise, but she can, with that Leo Mars and that Venus and Aries, tend to blow her money very fast on certain things. And I feel like YG's gonna see that, and he's gonna be like, yo, like, why are you spending your money on that? Like, save up, get your bread up. And also, what I was saying in my practice video, YG likes to act tough. He likes to act like, shut up, don't talk to me, get your bread up. And he likes to, say like shitty things about women in his music, but he's a big softy. Like, he's just like, oh, like, I want to cuddle with you, and oh, let's cuddle, let's make love. Like, he's that type of energy. Yeah, YG try to act tough and shit. Like, yeah, I feel like he's gonna be a big teddy bear if he isn't already. I feel like he's gonna be a huge ass baby with Kehlani, because she's gonna be like, boy, bye. Because Kehlani doesn't like that. She's like, boy, bye. Like, act like yourself. Like, stop. Like, even if she tends to act hard, it's like, you can tell, like, she's a big softy. Like, she still shows that in some way. But I feel like YG, like, he's gonna learn that from her. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be soft. You're not weak. Because I feel like YG has a hard time being soft, especially with his moon in Virgo and his Mars in Capricorn. Oh gosh, he does. So yeah, it feels good. Like, the energy feels good between them. It feels mature. So let's see if they'll make it official. Okay, as I said that about them making it official, I do pick up on fast moving energy. I pick up on the Five of Wands telling me that there will be, like, fast arguments, like fast fights, very passionate arguments. Yeah, they're both, I feel like they're both coming from this energy of someone hurting them. And I said that in my practice video. I feel like YG is he just got out of a relationship, or he's getting over someone still. And I feel like K is too. So I think that's why they're just keeping it fun. But I do see them being guarded with certain things, and talking about, with the Eight of Wands, talking about how they need to open up more emotionally. Definitely an emotional type of opening up. The Tower, as I said that, yeah, this is going to be very transformative energy for Kehlani. This relationship with him is going to benefit her a lot, because YG is going to teach her a lot about business moves. Like, he's very smart about that. I feel that from him. He's very driven. I think he has a clothing line too. I'm pretty sure he does. I saw on his Instagram. But I do feel like more stuff will come out for YG. Definitely more music. And I feel like his clothing line will do really well. His little fashion line that he has. I don't mean to say little, but his fashion line that he has. I see him opening, like broadening his fashion line a lot more, and like Kehlani helping him with that too. Like I feel like they're gonna help each other a lot, business wise, you know. And that's something YG really likes. He likes a woman that can hold him down. One, which Kehlani is that energy. She's very loyal, which he likes. He's very private, more private than Kehlani. Um, and I also feel from him very sexual, which he will like because he's got that Mars and Capricorn. You know, I also said in my other video that Kehlani looked up his chart because she's very much into birth charts and like all of that stuff. And I feel like she looked at his Mars and Capricorn and she's just like, what, what is that? You know? So yeah, okay, that's a very good placement. You want to have a Mars and Capricorn in a man. Like I feel like in a man, Mars and Capricorn is very good if they channel it right. It can be bad. It can be toxic because you dated a moon in Capricorn, which is PartyNextDoor, and that was toxic. But he was channeling it in a very toxic way. I feel like YG channels his Mars in Capricorn in a very driven, passionate, and business smart, like very smart with his business energy. And I also feel an older man around YG. I feel like I said, YG's spiritual, or he has like spiritual people that are around him, like Kehlani does, but especially with his business. I feel like he has like a dad or an uncle. It feels like that type of energy around him that tells him, like, that's very smart with their stuff too. And I feel like, too, which Kay likes, he supports a lot of people in his life and he supports a lot of his friends and a lot of his family. He watches out for people. He's very loyal. He's very down like that, which is very nice to feel that from him. He's matured a lot. I feel he's come a long way. And he's learning too to respect women a lot more because he used to like, he still will rap about like hoes and stuff like that. Like he says, I hear his thoughts, but he really does respect the girls that he dates, which is nice. Like when he does settle down, when he does date, he treats you like a queen. He's very romantic. I feel like he's very romantic too. Especially with that Pisces sun, especially with his words too. Mercury and Pisces, I feel like he charms the pants off of Kehlani, or he will charm the pants off of her. I feel like they've been sexual though, even though my Ace of Wands was in the reverse. I feel like they've been sexual. But I still feel like Kehlani's holding out on him. She's like, I ain't gonna give you all of my goods. Yeah, I ain't gonna. I feel from Kehlani, her saying intuitively, I haven't whipped it all on you yet, boy. Calm down. I feel like she just like, I feel like Kehlani put it down. Like she puts it down. Like with that Mars and Leo, oh, you know she does. Come on now. I got your sex number, Kehlani. So that was her and YG. Let me see if I do feel they will eventually. As of now, this could change because tarot is never set. I do feel like they are moving in that energy of making it official. But do I feel like this is a long-term thing? No. I feel like Kehlani has a soulmate that she hasn't met yet, which is awesome for me to hear. I feel like there's a guy that will like sweep her off her feet, and that is exactly what she wants. But she's not going to see it coming because it's going to be more when she gets older. I feel like that because she's still young. So I feel as though she will bring this man to her. She's already manifesting this man to her. And he feels nice too. He feels very mature and driven as well, which is what she likes. So let's see what's in store for Kehlani, and then we'll end the video. It's like I said, this video was going to be long. So I definitely see more obstacles that, of course, that's life, but I do see more obstacles that Kehlani will have to endure, especially spiritually. I feel, okay, you need to protect yourself. I think I've said this before in my practice readings, but if she happens to come across this video, Kehlani, you have a lot of people that drain you. Like, a lot of people you give your energy and your time to. I feel like you overextend yourself and you overdo it and you drain yourself very fast. So you're gonna have to learn in the future. I feel this for her. She's gonna have to learn to cut people off faster. walk away from people faster than she does, not allow so many people to unload their problems on her, because I do feel with her Venus in Aries and her Mars in Leo, she's a fixer. Okay, like, let me fix that for you. Okay, let's fix this, let's fix that, you know? Um, but she's gonna have to learn to say no a lot too, because she doesn't say no enough. She's learning to say no, and her daughter has taught her. Like, having her daughter has matured her energy so much. I feel it. But she's gonna have to learn to say no a lot faster than she does, especially with people that she's close with. That's a big issue for her. I feel like too she has a lot of Leos around her. I know Eddie is a Leo and Sam's a Leo. That one girl she gets around, no, or she an Aquarius, that one. Not, Sam is a Leo. Eddie's a Leo. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of Leos around her, or fire signs. I also feel like, hey, you're gonna have to surround yourself with more grounding energy, like friends that are more grounded than the ones you have. Yeah, I feel that. Like more Virgo, more Capricorn, more Taurus energy. And I remember I saw on a live, which I think is so funny, Kehlani was like, I don't know how Capricorns are. And I'm like, and I looked at her through the screen, and I was like, girl, your manager is a Capricorn. What are you talking about? Your mom is a Capricorn. Like, you know how we are. Come on now. She's like, I don't know a lot about Capricorns. She's like, I don't have a problem with them, but I don't know a lot about them. I'm like, yes, you fucking do. I feel like she has more Capricorns around her that she don't pay attention to their sign. But she like them fire signs. That's what she be paying attention to. Thanks. Or if you're a Taurus, that's the only earth sign she pay attention to. What else I do feel in store for her is this album. I'm not seeing that in my cards, but I'm feeling this energy of her, one, cutting people off. I already said that. I feel like she's gonna need to switch up her label soon, so something about that is coming out. I do see Kehlani moving more into this spiritual energy and getting more in tune with herself and what she wants and what her daughter wants. I feel like her and her daughter are going to be spiritually on the same path, on the same level. And I feel like her daughter is going to be very intuitive. Like, I've already said that, but her having that Scorpio moon, already going to be very intuitive, already intuitive. I feel like her daughter's very moody too. But in a cute way, because she's little right now, so it's cute. Okay, I do feel some type of energy of people causing arguments around you, or you needing to get rid of people. I keep saying that for you, but that is coming out for your career. I feel like you're going to need to switch things up with your label, or with people around you in regards to your label, or how you do things with your team or your friends. So just be wary. Like I said, those two people, I feel like they're snakes in the grass. So that is what I'm feeling. I feel like she will be focusing more on her daughter, of course, and her spiritual journey, and her love life, I do feel like is doing good. And like, it's just fun, and she's keeping it fun. She's too busy anyway, I feel like, for her love life right now. And she's really cutting off anyone that does not serve her. She's really getting better at that from when I last pulled on her, especially her having her daughter. It's really helped a lot with her being better at, okay, you're not going to be in my life, you're not going to be in my life. And I said from the jump, her daughter's father, I said, in my practice video, I was like, he is not going to cut it. I was like, he has a very immature energy about him. And yeah, I feel like he's not even really in her life. I don't even really see him, excuse me. I really don't even see him in her cards that I pulled for her. She may speak to him here and there because they have the daughter together, and she wants her daughter to like still see her father. She's not malicious like that. But I do feel he's barely there. He's barely hanging on by a thread. I feel like he was bringing very toxic people around her too. So, yeah. So that is what I'm feeling from Kehlani. I do feel an album for her, and I feel tour, but I do feel like her tour isn't going to be as long as it normally is, just because she has her daughter now. So she wants to be around her daughter, and I already said that it's going to be a while before we get music from her, but I do feel like sometime later this year she'll release more stuff. But as far as the album goes, it might not get released until next year. But again, this could change. But she's working very hard, guys, on her album. I also feel like with her clothing line that she came out with, which I had predicted that she would come out with a clothing line, and she did. I feel like that's going to expand more. I feel like that's going to do very well. Also, I feel Kehlani will come out with shoes. I just heard that. So that is so cool. She's very into sneakers. So I feel like she'll have her own sneaker line, or she'll collaborate with someone for a sneaker line if she hasn't already. But I do feel that again for her, or some type of revamping that they're gonna do. So that's really exciting. I'm hearing either Adidas, Nike, or what was the other one I just heard? Converse. So even Skechers. I hear Skechers too. So I don't know. Like I hear stuff like that. Like some brand deal of that sort. It's gonna be big if she does collaborate. I do feel like that. Feel that for her. And I do feel like she's gonna make more music with other people, so more collaborations. And she's very big on that, like collaborating with new artists. I feel this one artist for her that she's been working with, just someone she's like taken under her wing. I know she kind of scouted out, what's her name? I feel like she did play a role in scouting out Queen Naja. So something like that. This artist feels very Queen Naja like to me, but not the music, like her energy feels very Queen Naja. And Kehlani has an eye for scouting out new artists. So I feel like in the future, I know this of her, but she wants to make it a point to help other artists. So I feel something more like that come out for her, and her app, Flora. I feel like that's going to do very well. And in the way future, I feel like she will move more towards energy of, this is so crazy to me, but I hear like she wants to do something where it turns it into a restaurant. So that is so fucking cool. Like this is not until the way future, guys, though, when she wants to settle down more, because she's very into food, like organic types of food, like growing your own food, like gardening, very earthy type of energy I've always felt from Kehlani, not only because she's a Taurus, but she's very much here in the here and now, you know? So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my reading on Kehlani. This was a very long one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And what else you would like to see from me. Who else would you like me to read on? And or what else you would like me to read on. I want to start moving into more energy of not only reading on celebrities, but reading on just like any advice or spiritual messages. So you guys will see more of that on my channel, and of course more zodiac videos I still have to come out with. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Kehlani and her past and just people in her life. This has been Sade's Tarot Tea. Love and light, guys. Bye.